So good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is when you hear this message, I pray that you're poised to receive, to accept, and to respond to words of wisdom. Ashe. So earlier this year, I took some of my students over to Nigeria. And it was fantastic because this particular cohort is made up of doers. And doers in the sense that these are people who don't have jobs. They're entrepreneurs. They're investors. They're doers. And the significance of being an entrepreneur is that you are in control of your time as an entrepreneur. One of the most essential lessons that you learn when you run your own business is that you are in control of your time. You are in control of your movement. Okay? And time is the most precious asset that anybody has. Time is the active ingredient in all of your success, all of your accomplishment, all of your fulfillment will become realized or not according to how you position yourself in relation to time. And time is the most universal, right? There are 24 hours in every day for everybody on the planet. It's just that some of us make different use of those 24 hours than others. This is so significant because of, where I am personally in time, right? So I'm 55 years old right now. All right, I'm 55. And I'm old enough to reflect back on many phases of time, to recognize that the time unfolds in particular kinds of intervals and in patterns. And I can see that where I am today is absolutely the direct result of decisions and commitments that I made 25 years ago. And in order to really understand and appreciate that, we got to look at how time is measured, right? We're on the earth, and you can't imagine how fast the earth is spinning. Do you know how fast the earth is spinning right now? We can't even imagine how fast this bad boy is spinning. Spinning so fast. And on top of that, it is rotating around the sun so fast. There's so much speed associated with our earthly experience. But it's deceptive because look at how tranquil it is, how still everything is. The wind isn't blowing. There's no stormy, there's no nothing to indicate that we are hurling through space, at an astonishing rate. But that is the trick of time. Your life is hurling forward at unbelievable speeds. So fast. So how you position yourself, what you focus on, how you make your target right now is absolutely, positively, without doubt, hurling you into a direction. You are going to reach a certain set of coordinates. And because you're going so fast, you can't just, making a hard right, hard left. You can't. You may think that you are. This is why the trick of time is you can't be in a hurry. You got to be able to slow it down and focus and adjust and readjust and adjust and readjust and adjust and readjust little by little by little by little. Because you're going so fast. You're going so fast that you've got to adjust just a little bit with the understanding that you're going to hit something within a range. There's a range of possibilities that are open to you. That let's say you're 25 years old and you're aiming at a certain target. Maybe you want to make a certain amount of money. Maybe you want to have a certain marital status. Maybe you want to have children. Maybe you want to build something, whatever the case may be. That's your target. You're going to make a lot of tiny adjustments for 5 years. And then when you look up in 5 years and you can see that, okay, you're off a little bit, you make another set of adjustments. And then another 5 years, you make another little set of adjustments. But of all the adjustments you make, you're only, there's the destination is still going to fall within a certain range. This is the reality of it. This is the reality of it. I know we have the idea that it's just infinite possibilities, and you could be anything you want. You can accomplish anything you want, and as long as you imagine it, it can happen. And that's a beautiful thought. It's very encouraging and inspiring. But that assumes that you have all the time in the world to adjust in order to accomplish whatever you see in your mind. And that part is not real. Girls and boys, that's just not real. You don't have all the time in the world to just, voila, be whatever you want. You could just change at the drop of a dime, and you can just switch, and you can just drop this one and pick up another one, and you can just stop doing this and start doing that. And just because that's what you want to do, is what's going to be. The time factor in and of itself disallows that. I know I'm speaking in sort of vague terms and maybe a little bit up, in terms of concept, but listen to this message as many times as necessary. Take notes and keep clarifying and ask questions as you go through it, and you get to different questions in your mind. Hey, put them in the comment section. Let's treat this like a conversation, because what I want more than anything is for you to be successful. I want for you to understand what's necessary for you to be successful. Okay. And how does this pertain to something within the practice of Orisa lifestyle? Within Orisa lifestyle, what we have created is the idea that the highest aspiration is priesthood. And in that priesthood, the highest aspiration is Ifa. To be an Ifa priest. That's the highest aspiration. That's what we have pretty much presented to the people. And, I don't agree with that conclusion, but I'm just going to say, for the sake of conversation, that let's just, we can agree that everybody wants to be initiated to Ifa, because the perception is that if you do that, then you're at the top. You're at the apex. All right. Well, listen, if that's the case, then you got to take into consideration time. This is just for you to get a reality check on how time is unfolding and what you got to do with your time in order to accomplish what you say you want. Let's say you want to be an Ifa priest. You know why people start learning Ifa in childhood? You don't start learning Ifa at 35, y'all. You don't start learning Ifa at 45. You start learning Ifa at 7. That is how it is done from time immemorial. When you're 7 years old, your father, who is probably a babalawo too, will send you to the house of another babalawo to live. And you will stay with that babalawo for 15, 20 years. And you will study and practice Ifa full time. From 7 to 22, 20, 25. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Go ask anybody who knows. This is how Ifa is learned. Why? Because Ifa is a discipline associated with mastery. It's not something that you dip and dabble in. It's something that you master. There are certain things that you aspire to that are not casual pursuits. These are not hobbies. You want to, hey, you know what? I want to paint pottery. I want to make, batik. Okay. You can dip and dabble in that. You can pick that up here and there. You want to be a brain surgeon? No. There's no dipping and dabbling. You need to master that. Right? It requires mastery. You want to be a dentist? You want to be a lawyer? You want to be an engineer? You want to be a chemist? That's mastery. Mastery requires a certain amount of time, which means if you need to start now to get to a certain point in the future. Otherwise, that's not a real possibility for you. Time is the active ingredient, because it's not just about accumulating information. It's not just about getting data. It's about being able to master that information, get inside that information, immerse yourself in that information and the practice of the disciplines associated with applying that information, which is mastery. Now, if you have never mastered anything and you don't know anybody who's ever mastered anything, and you're only having conversations with people who have only dipped and dabbled and they've never mastered anything, then your perception is going to be skewed. It's like you're talking to your peers about things that none of you understand, but you want to believe it very strongly. It's a playground conversation, right? It's a playground conversation. And a lot of our people who are practicing Orisa are like children on a playground, having a conversation. You're talking all about things that they don't know. None of them have ever experienced and have no ability to even understand, let alone speak on with authority. This is something that requires time, okay? Now, this matters because there are things that, as an adult, I'm going to assume everybody who's listening to this is, 25, 35 years of age. You've already put in a lot of time doing something. Your natural gifts and talents have already guided you and molded you and shaped you and compelled you to put yourself in certain circumstances and engage in certain activities and enable you to acquire and develop a certain level of mastery. This is where you need to put your focus. You need to be really discerning. What is it that I really do well? What is it that people are always seeking me out for? What is it that I don't have to ever even really have to say that I do it, and people just are bringing it to me, and people are recognizing me for it. People are praising me for this ability, for this skill set. See, that's something that you've already, you brought with you into the world, and you've put in a certain amount of time already. That's your building block for charting the course in the future. That's what's going to help you to be a master of something. And from one place of mastery, then you can augment it, you can enhance it, you can amplify it with other practices like Orisa. Orisa can help you to do what you do naturally and what you have already developed within yourself in ways that, other practices cannot do. That I can say. Okay? But because of time, you need to accept yourself as you are for who you are and build upon that reality and chart your course and adjust according to the reality of your natural gifts and talents. Because time cannot be altered. It cannot be negotiated with. It is what it is. And like I said, you're like the earth, which is spinning and rotating around the sun at unbelievable speeds. You're going to blink and you'll look up and it'll be tomorrow. You'll be 55. You'll be 65. And you'll either have a lot of regret and I wish I coulda, woulda, or you will have a heap of success because you built upon something solid. You set your coordinates for life according to something that is real and attainable and truly fulfilling, and not a unrealistic, unattainable fantasy. Imagination and fantasy are similar, but they're not the same. Orisa is based on reality. Orisa is as verifiable and true as these trees. And so this is a message that I have for you, the leaders, the ones who are purveyors of a visionary goal, who are inspired by the truth and the reality of their divine essence. These are the ones who are really poised to improve the world through positive influence. If you're one of those people, then I want you to find out how Oloye Obafemi Origunwa and the Orisa Lifestyle Academy can help you to live the medicine that will heal your life and heal the lives of those who you are destined to serve. Visit me at obafemio.com or orishalifestyle.com. Let's start working together to take your practice and your life to the highest level possible. I look forward to working with you. Bye for now. Oravo.